So the father-in-law very kindly turned up the other day with these bad boys. The brake calipers, they're actually off a Triumph Spitfire because he's a heathen. So they're not Volkswagen, but it's relevant to guess any car that's got calipers, and they've been stood for 15 years. So I'm going to see if I can get them cleaned up for him. I believe that actually sees at the minute, so we may have to look at pushing the pistons out and stuff. However, I watched a guy on YouTube who recommends doing it in petrol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sealant bags, zip tie bags, put the caliper in the fuel in there, and then dunk the whole thing in the bag in a water bath in the ultrasonic cleaner. Now, he reckons it's safe. I'm not entirely sold on the idea yet, so we shall see. But just to be safe, I'm going to drag it outside and say if it goes wolf, I'll know to put the dog out. So we're going to do one in petrol, and the other one in, I've got some Celly thinners I think, I may have some white spirit, I'm not sure yet, see what I've got spare knocking around the garage. We'll try and experiment a comparison between two different cleaning agents. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So first thing I'm going to do is just get the old wire brush on there, just the manual one, take the thick of the grime off it because there's lots of old scabby paint and stuff to come off first, and get it back as far as we can. Come on! Helps if you turn it the right way, doesn't it? Oh, it's broken the, I felt the brake. Yay, there we go. Just got the flexi pipes off, but I've screwed it back in just temporarily. I know we're going to be cleaning it all out, so it shouldn't really be an issue. But I just want to avoid getting any muck and crap in there if I can avoid it. It just makes it easier for cleaning later. I use the old wire brush. I have all the tools in the garage. I think it's probably my least favourite because usually it ends up in my eye. Got a gross story for you. A few years ago I had a really sore knee, and every time I bent down it was really hurting. And after a few days I took a closer look and I was getting changed, and I got a big, what looked like a zit on my leg, a spot on my knee. So like you do, you give it a good old squeeze and took the surface off it, all the juice came out. And it got like a black core in the centre of it. And I thought the black core was just an ingrowing hair, so I got a pair of tweezers to give it a good old tug to pull it out. And what should be in the middle of the of my knee? An inch of wire was actually stuck inside my knee. So I don't know how long I'd been there for, and so I'd obviously knelt on it and then got in. I didn't realise when I knelt on it what I'd done. Kind of scary, kind of gross. Another reason I don't like wire brushes. They do give you cool stories to tell people. Oh, they weren't too bad after all. Oh, they're big pads. Don't know why I use such big pads on a Triumph Spitfire. Wouldn't dare go that fast in it. There we go, vaguely clean, all the thick stuff's off. Stripped them down, took all the pads out and pins and stuff. So I'll bag them up and we'll get them in the ultrasonic cleaner. In he goes, just using standard 95 unleaded. Try and get the air out without spilling fuel everywhere and causing a leak. Number 2, just using standard white spirit. Bought this for something else. Oh well. Just use half a 2 litres. Use a litre. That makes it about £2 worth of juice, I think. Okay, got the ultrasonic cleaner outside for safety. Petrol first. The tank's at 40 degrees, which is kind of hot water temperature from our taps. And I've set it to 40 so it just maintains as it is. Oop, overflowing a bit. I'm going to set them going for 25 minutes. Hope it doesn't blow up. Not sure if you can see that, but the petrol one is really bubbling away. And compare that to the white spirit, it doesn't seem to be doing anywhere near as much. So it certainly seems to be interacting more with the ultrasonics than the spirit at least. We've been going for 8 minutes now. The white spirit bag is basically as it went in, so there's no gas going up in the bag at all. However, the fuel one, I've already let the gas out once, the fumes, and it's filling up again. So much so it's pushed the lid off the cleaner. So I'm going to have to open the bag and just let the fumes out. I'll turn the power off briefly to do that. 3 minutes into the second cleaning cycle, and the top's pushing up again, look. So there's definitely fumes coming off the petrol. For that reason, you couldn't leave it on its own, because this will be the 4th or 5th time I've emptied the fumes out the bag now. Okay, so they've both been in the cleaner now for 3 sets of 25 minutes, so total of an hour and 15 minutes. To look at through the bags, they look pretty identical. So the amount of grime in the spirit and the grime in the petrol, the gasoline, seems to be the same. However, I've got a really strong smell of fuel, so I think I've got myself a leak. I'm pretty sure I've got a leak, get that. And I'm pretty sure the spirit's leaking too. So plastic bags, I'm not sure what's done the damage, but I've got some major leaks. So I'm going to quickly transfer what's left into a bottle, then we'll check out the calipers. We'll do the petrol first. Now, I'm not really sure what I expected, to be honest with you, when they went into the cleaner. I was kind of hoping they'd come out super clean. And they're not bad, it's totally degreased them. There's nothing left on there at all, greasy wise. Now, I'm trying to keep it vaguely scientific and as a fair comparison, but I'll be perfectly honest, I can't remember if there's paint on this one, the same as this one. If there was, the petrol's taken it off, because it's got no paint on it at all, really. Whereas this one from the spirit still got paint on there, although it is clean and grease free. The only real obvious difference when they came out the cleaner really is that this one, the spirit, kind of stayed slightly more oily straight for a bit longer, whereas the petrol obviously it's just evaporated straight off and it was dry almost as it came out of the bag. So I'm going to try and get the pistons out now, so see if they'll come out with a good old poking. And if not, as I say, I'm going to have to blow them out or somehow get them out. I'm not sure yet, so it depends how seized in they are, if they're seized at all. So I'll start to that next, and then I'll tell you if there's a difference between how easy it is getting one out rather than the other. I mean, obviously that's not exactly scientific, because one might be seized and one might not. But if both the petrol ones are easy and both the spirit ones aren't, gives you an idea of possible issues or benefits to one or the other. Now, anyone who's got a garage full of bits like me, or willingly accepts tools, the cast-offs, has probably got a few grease guns. I genuinely don't know where these are all from. My granddad's and my grandpa's, and possibly my dad's in there, I don't know. However, I did manage to find this one just by chance. and it threads into the caliper. Now I don't know if it's designed for that, I suspect not, but I'll never go at pushing out the caliper with the grease gun. I did try compressed air, but that didn't get me anywhere. I'm going to put my glasses on because I don't want to get squirted in the eyeball. And the grease in this thing's probably older than me. It's working. It is, it's working. Oh my spag. That one's definitely moving. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect that to work. Looks an absolute treat. And no doubt filling the caliper full of mega old grease, the amount of grease in fact, so I'm going to repack the gun and keep going. Job's a good one. Woohoo! I can't believe how well that worked. Unbelievable. So impressed. Got a caliper full of grease, but amazing. So I'll have to probably tap that one out now. For what it's worth. Looks like there's a rusty lip which is just grabbing a bit. Hey! Okay, got a bit of a seasoned nipple, if you pardon the expression. Apply a little bit of heat, if that'll sort it out. Not before taking the jaws off. Yeah, there we go. There she blows. Right, so I've got them all stripped down, but now they're all full of grease, quite literally, and caked all over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them back in the ultrasonic cleaner, in the petrol and in the white spirit. Now, because I wasn't sure if the petrol actually took the paint off this one, because this is the one that came out of the petrol, you can see it's got no paint on it. I'm going to put this one in the petrol this time. I'm going to put it back in the same stuff, but it should be fine. And see if the paint comes off, and then we'll know whether it takes paint and grime off as well as just the grease and grime. Right, I've got all the calipers, they're all back in bags. Now this time I'm doing it slightly differently. I was thinking maybe it's actually the oils and fuels that could be eating the bags. They might not be fuel safe. So I've double bagged them up. So I'm going to seal the inner bag, and then leave the outer bag open very slightly. So hopefully when it goes in the water pressure kind of envelops or takes the air out basically. Because I suspect if you have an air bubble in there, it's going to be pretty useless in the ultrasonic cleaner. Again, the one with the paint on has gone into here. It's good to go back in the petrol this time. I've got the white spirit, and that's the other caliper, and then I just put the odds and sods, the pistons. I thought I'd try some clean spirit, which is kind of a water-based brush cleaning stuff instead of white. You can use that instead of white spirit. So I thought we'd give that a whirl, so it's the most environmentally friendly option. I suspect it's open water, I don't actually know what's in it, I'll be perfectly honest. Yeah, so I'm going to whack them back in, see where we get to. Well, this is the petrol, and if you remember yesterday's activity in there, it was going crazy. 2 bags, nothing's really happening that I can see, so we're going to have to take one of the bags off, I think. I discovered pretty early on that I've got a leak from both bags, and the water's all gone misty. So I had to swap the bags, which is an absolute nightmare. One of them had a little hole in each side, so I say, even though the bags feel pretty tough, and you're putting something heavy and clunky like a brake caliper on, which isn't especially spiky, it's still easy to get holes. Hard to see, but as soon as I've gone down to single bags, there's a lot more activity going on in there, so that's the way forward. Well, I think that kind of proves that these bags ain't oil friendly. So I just went to pick it up and the caliper dropped straight out of the bottom of the bag. That was the white spirit, so I'm even more careful now with the petrol one. Oh dear. And that one dragged the other bag, the petrol bag. Oh no. It's totally sieved. The calipers have now been in for another hour and a quarter, and first obvious thing is this is the one that was in petrol. To answer our earlier question, no, it doesn't seem to take all paint off, so the paint must have been already off the other caliper. However, I can't see anywhere on there any grease, so I can't see any grease down the grease nipple, also the inlet hole. Nope, none down there. The nipple goes, and I can't see any within the balls either. So the petrol seems to do a pretty good job of degreasing, including taking thick grease out. I'm going to have to make sure there's no grease inside that. So the white spirit, however, didn't do such a good job, so I'm not sure if you can kind of see that in there, but there's some thick grease on the inside. There's still grease just on the outside edge, look, in the inlet. So in terms of degreasing, the white spirit did not do as good a job at all. Far from it, really. The clean spirit, which I think is, I'm not sure if it's water-based or what, to be honest with you. It's the new green alternative. It does seem to do a good job. So it's totally degreased these. There's nothing left on them at all that I can see. But lovely and shiny. They come up ever so well. The pins have cleaned up pretty well too. So I've got to say, I mean, obviously it's not exactly a scientific comparison between the two, but from just one run through the cleaner, the clean spirit seems to have done an amazing job. Really impressed by that. So I guess the question is petrol a good cleaner for for cleaning stuff? You know, I'm not sure. I think in terms of its cleaning properties, it works really, really well. However, I'm not really convinced about how safe it is, and for that reason it's a complete pain in the backside to use. The baggies also aren't a good idea. I'm not sure if it's because they're not oil proof or what. I mean, they're strong bags. You know, they're strong bags. Do they all have one of those on? Let's find out. The crap bags. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. So, right, so basically I guess the lesson is get some decent bags. Oh my god, that's insane. So yeah, but what I found is I sprung leaks on every single time they went in the cleaner. I sprung a leak. So both the white spirit sprung a leak, the petrol sprung a leak, and you don't want petrol squirting everywhere. It's just it's a nightmare. I mean, having to drag it outside itself is just a complete pain in the backside. So Yeah, it does a good job of cleaning it. However, I don't think you could have a sealed container in the garage with petrol if it's, say, it was gassing off, and I don't know how much pressure that could build up. So if you've got a glass container in the cleaner, that can't be good. So yeah, maybe on small scale for cleaning small parts. We've got some like pins and stuff like that. You can stick them in a bag and drop them in there, and it's, you know, it's a small amount of fuel. But when you're messing with the amount of fuel you need to clean calipers, I think it's just a bit too risky, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion, and say I personally wouldn't recommend playing around with petrol in the garage for that reason. The Clean Spirit, I'll do some more tests with that one. It does seem to have done a really good job on those. So I'm going to keep experimenting with that sort of stuff. I'm also wanting to try some proper, like the gunk type of engine degreaser. That I would have thought does a good job. If I can get hold of some for sensible money. But I'll keep experimenting. Petrol, I don't recommend it, but say, up to you guys. You've seen the results. Certainly White Spirit doesn't seem to perform. So it's one to probably not bother using. See you soon, guys.